organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
This morning on Daily Iowan TV, your travel plans to Kinnick Stadium may need to take a slight detour, and history is being shared with the people of Iowa City to commemorate an iconic writer.
A big weekend is coming our way for Hawkeye sports. We'll give you more details on that.
And of course, football is only 4 days away, and we've got a position preview of the defense later on in sports.
All that and more coming up. Daily Iowan TV starts now. Good morning and thanks for joining us. I'm Keaton Fuller. An unfortunate passing occurred earlier this week. Gene Wilder, the actor that brought a chocolate factory to life and gave life to a monster in Young Frankenstein, passed away at the age of 83 due to Alzheimer's disease. Wilder attended the University of Iowa from 1951 to 1955, graduating with a degree in communications and theater. Twitter is filled with tweets from well-known actors such as Jim Carrey saying Gene Wilder was one of the funniest and sweetest energies ever to take human form. If there is a heaven, he has a golden ticket. A historical piece of literature has come to campus, and it's taking the Iowa City community by storm. Shakespeare's first folio is on display at the main library, and it won't be here for long. Our reporter Noah Gowdy has the story.
The Folgers Shakespeare Library is doing something special this year for the 400th anniversary of Shakespeare's death. They have decided to take Shakespeare's first folio to all 50 states in honor of him. The University of Iowa has been given the privilege of hosting the exhibit in the main library for the whole state of Iowa.
They were really excited about our application. They know that Iowa City and the University of Iowa have resources and expertise, both from the faculty and the librarians, that no other place has.
The first folio is a compilation of all Shakespeare's plays, and it was printed in 1623. The folio will stay on display until September 25th of this year. This is the actual copy of the first folio here displayed at the University of Iowa. It is here for everyone to see, and it is open to the famous speech, "To be or not to be." The exhibit will still be open after the folio leaves until December 30th. Many people are excited for what this means for the University of Iowa. I spoke with University President Bruce Harrell to see how he felt about this opportunity.
Remarkable, probably once in a lifetime opportunity to see these works, but also fitting because that's who we are. University of Iowa, UNESCO City of Literature here in Iowa City.
Along with the exhibit, there will be more than 50 public events going on throughout Iowa City and the state of Iowa to honor Shakespeare until November 11th. Reporting from the main library in downtown Iowa City, Noah Gowdy, Daily Iowan TV.
Iowa fans will have to use alternate routes to get to Kinnick Stadium if traveling on Dubuque Street. Officials from the city of Iowa City said Dubuque Street will be temporarily a one-way street during Hawkeye football games. Dubuque Street will only allow northbound traffic between Foster and Park Roads. Travelers coming from Interstate 80 should use the Highway 1 Dodge Street exit 246 upon entering Iowa City. Well, this morning had me already regretting not bringing my umbrella to campus, so I'm wondering if that's going to be an issue later in the day. For more, we'll turn it over to Ryan Scott in the weather studio. Ryan?
Thanks, Keen. It very well could be a problem, but right now we're looking at an afternoon temperature in the mid to upper 70s. Going into the evening, though, we'll see a 40% chance of thunderstorms and an evening high around 8 degrees. Thursday morning, there's another 40% chance of rain, and we'll see a morning temperature in the high 60s. Looking ahead at our 6-day forecast, we'll see highs drop from the low 80s on Tuesday to the mid 70s Wednesday through Friday. Temperatures will pick back up again on Saturday and Sunday with highs in the low 80s. There's a chance of thunderstorms again today, so you may want to keep that umbrella on hand. We'll see partly cloudy skies Wednesday, but it looks like they'll clear up Thursday and stay clear Friday. Saturday and Sunday, we can expect partly cloudy skies. That's all we have in the weather studio. Back to you, Keaton.
Not only is the campus of the UI getting a new makeover, the Iowa course management system has gotten a new look as well. The program is called Canvas. A new layout and new functions make it easier for students and faculty to navigate their way through their courses, but some users are still confused on certain program functions. ITS is offering hands-on training sessions to teach users how to navigate the site easily and effectively. The Alcohol Harm Reduction Advisory Committee is implementing a new alcohol harm reduction plan this year. The main focus will be supporting students in their decision to not drink underage while attending the UI. Tom Rockland, Vice President for Student Life, says the goals of this plan are similar to the plans from the last few years, but with a different approach. The focus will be on giving advice and supporting drinking and non-drinking students. With the implementation of this new plan, the UI hopes to see the number of students who engage in high-risk drinking continue to decline. The well-known sexual assault case involving the Stanford student Brock Turner has resurfaced with an update on his sentencing. Earlier this year, Turner was convicted of 3 felony counts of attempted rape, sexual penetration of an intoxicated woman, and sexual penetration of an unconscious woman. The maximum penalty for these offenses is 14 years, but Turner was only sentenced to 6 months in jail. Now, after serving half his sentence, the former Stanford swimmer is being released. Turner is expected to be released Friday for good behavior after serving 3 months. The safety of students at the UI is taken very seriously. A permanent replacement has been found for the Assistant Vice President and Director of Public Safety. Scott Beckner has worked with the police and public safety at Georgia University and State University. A few of his main goals are to create trust among students, faculty, and staff. An area of concentration Beckner will be dealing with is sexual assault here on campus. Beckner says, quote, "Sexual assault on campus as a whole for the whole country is a concern. I think we need to work as a university as a whole to make victims report it because it's so underreported." Speaking of security updates, Kinnick Stadium is upping their safety procedures on game days, so you might want to be a little more careful coming from your tailgate. Let's see what Alec and John can tell us about Iowa's first game Saturday.
Yeah, Keaton, those security staff are going to have their hands full on Saturday, right, John?
That's right. Definitely full crowd coming in. Really excited to get back into Kinnick.
Well, with every Hawkeye sport home this weekend, we figured we would hash out what time and where you can find each game.
And of course, it's finally game week for Iowa football. They will kick off against Miami of Ohio inside Kinnick Stadium at 2:35 on Saturday.
And a little further down the road, the field hockey team plays a set of games at Grant Field, starting Friday at 2 against Fairfield, and then Sunday at 1 p.m. against St. Louis.
Right next to Grant Field, the soccer team will host 2 games. Friday at 7 p.m. against Colorado State, and Sunday against SIU Edwardsville.
And the list continues as men and women's cross country is home for the Hawkeye Invitational at 6 p.m.
Also on that list is Iowa women's volleyball, who is playing host to the Hawkeye Invitational.
After Labor Day this weekend, we'll have all those recaps right here.
Sticking with the volleyball court, there was one senior this past weekend that jumped one huge career milestone.
That's right, John. Senior Alyssa Klosterman surpassed 1,000 career assists in the NIU Invitational in DeKalb. Her efforts this weekend helped to guide her team to a 3-0 start to the season.
We will preview Klosterman and the volleyball team, plus the rest of the sports going on this weekend throughout the show this week.
And that includes football on Wednesday. But this past weekend, a new depth chart was released for the first game, and there are a few changes that need to be noted.
That's right, Alec. One big change was that wide receiver Jay Shields surpassed Jerminic Smith for the starting position. Otherwise, not much changed on the offensive side. Besides that, there is still a race for the fullback position between Drake Kulik and Brady Ross.
And for more on who we saw on that depth chart on the defensive line, we're going to toss it over to Katie Sextro, who's standing on our position preview set. Katie, how's that D-line looking?
Thanks, guys. As we all know, Iowa's defense took a huge hit last year when they lost Drew Ott for the season. And even though the defensive end's appeal was denied for an extra year of eligibility, Iowa's defense is experienced and looking to be one of the best in the Big Ten this season. I took a closer look into what you can expect from this D-line come Saturday.
With 7 returning starters that dominated last season, Iowa's defense appears to be in pretty good shape. And after Parker Hesse took over Drew Ott's spot early last year, he's now a year older, he's bigger, and he's ready for a big role.
First and foremost, it's just confidence. It's the realization that you can do it, you belong, you can contribute. And, starting from there, once you have that, belief, you can work on improving and working on your weaknesses. I was out there, just trying to not screw up, and now it's kind of turned around this year where I'm going to be, trying to make plays and trying to be more aggressive. I'm just trying to be more consistent, more reliable, someone, people can look to as a leader on defense.
And Hesse is confident that the defense is going to be a force to be reckoned with this season.
With the type of players we have on defense, there's not really a whole lot of pressure on any one guy. At least coming from my perspective, there's guys all over that are making plays left and right. So you kind of have the freedom to try things out, see what works best for you, and learn as you go.
But in order to be successful this season, there is one key thing right tackle Nathan Budgeta stresses this defense needs to do.
Right now we gotta build consistency. We're kind of all over the place right now, so and it starts up front.
And with a lot of other familiar names on the roster, like Desmond King, Josie Jewell, Bo Bauer, and Greg Mabin, to name a few, Kirk Ferentz is anxious to see these guys in a game situation.
You see these guys practice, you know their traits a little bit in the way they're wired mentally, and you watch them work every day. There's no guarantee they're going to develop into good players, but boy, it just seems like they're building a good resume for that. So feel good about that. We're going to be okay. It's just a matter of pushing it forward and getting those guys a game experience once we get to September.
And we will get to see just how good this defense can be in only 4 short days. Now tomorrow we will have a position preview for the offensive side of the ball. John and Alec, back to you.
Thanks, Katie. Now this will be the first time that Big Ten teams will have 9 conference games instead of just 8.
Yeah, Iowa, Michigan State, and Ohio State will all look to repeat as division champions, as Iowa went 8-0 in the Big Ten last season, and in the West, while the Michigan State and Ohio State teams went 7-1 in the East.
But that's going to do it for us here in the sports studio. Tune in tomorrow for more Iowa football. Keaton, back to you.
That's all we have for you this morning on Daily Iowan TV. Be sure to check out our website, dailyiowan.com, for all the latest news between now and Friday. For Daily Iowan TV, I'm Keaton Fuller. Have a great day, Iowa City.